Good afternoon. My name is Dale Rodriguez. This is Flabonga Monthrothacube. With me today, for the third time, I have the Hat Man, Gareth Wax.
Tis me.
Hey, Gareth.
Hey.
How's it going?
Ooh, it's actually going pretty well. I'm smacking my target out of the arena.
What target is this?
Winding back. That was my winding back sound.
Yep.
Do you remember? I used to be in a different company.
I often lose track of the companies that you're in because you're a serial entrepreneur.
Stop. No.
I know Purple Fedora is your main brand.
Purple Fedora,
I know that you've done.
Purple Fedora is long gone.
All right. And last time we spoke, you're doing some stuff with mushrooms.
Still am.
Right.
That's different. That's Smart Mycelium Limited. That's different, and it's with mycelium. It's with mycelium, which is a precursor to mushrooms. It's the growthy stuff that get the tendrils. But let's not talk about mushrooms, much as I'd like to.
No.
I want to talk about the fact that this is a story of narcissism, of difficulty, of poison, of obnoxious behavior, leading to a catastrophic break.
Okay.
Your face. Your face is such a picture. So I was with a business partner, a friend of mine who'd been friends for, I think, about 10 years before that time. And we'd often talked about setting up something. It never quite worked. We set this thing up about 4 and a bit years ago with an idea. It can't be helped, Mark. It's actually fixed on. It's glued.
I'm just going to read the comment as well for people who are listening. Mark Howison, hello. I love the hat. Sorry.
Mark, the hat loves you too.
Please continue. Your story of narcissism.
Yeah, story of narcissism and foul doings.
Did you go into business with a friend and it backfired?
Oh, in a dramatic way. After about, it'd been fine. It'd been fine. I could see bubblings, but they were always pointed at other people. And one day I said to him in his kitchen, I said, one day you're going to turn that fiery fury towards me, and that will only work for so long. And no, Gareth, we're friends. I would never do that. And as predicted, but then it also became very much, it went from, we were having company meetings. We had I think 11 people in the company at that stage.
Okay.
And it was, it'd gone from monthly meetings, so we'd make sure everybody was on track.
Yep.
It went to bi-monthly meetings, so every 2 weeks, to weekly meetings, to every day for an hour in the morning.
That's way too long for a meeting.
Not only that, but you're recovering what you already covered the day before.
Did you have a shareholders agreement?
Oh, yeah. Don't worry. That was fine. But it got to the point where I was...
The reason why I ask is because I often work with startups who don't consider that kind of stuff. And like you, they start business with their friends and they go, we'll never fall out.
Not my first rodeo. All right.
Yeah.
But you want to make it work, don't you? So you want to give them the benefit of the doubt. You want to help them get to a point where it was no longer happening. Unfortunately, it kept going on. Eventually, my wife said to me, you're losing sleep. It's making you feel upset and ill. You need to do something. So I did. I sold my shares. I terminated my directorship. I moved the address of the company had been booked as my own over to an address that he'd been at. And I exited stage left. I told my...
Can I go deeper into that?
Yeah, please.
I think what you're saying is actually really important because, as you know, trying to mix the personal and professional. Everyone hypes up being an entrepreneurial business owner. Yeah. Am I right in saying that you left that business because the joy to benefit ratio of actually doing the work and getting the money was not there?
I was starting to not look forward to getting up in the morning. Now, as Dale will tell you, I'm genuinely a person that no matter what time you find me, day or night, I'm usually bouncy, upbeat, and up and at it.
Quite chirpy.
Yeah. And even in the midst of feeling low, I'm usually at there, and I'd lost my chirp had gone off stage left, and I was no longer looking forward to work. It become a chore.
You know, you said you don't want to talk about mushrooms.
No, we're not talking about mushrooms.
The only comments, which is the comments. John Toon, a good friend of mine. Are we good friends, John? Friends, good friends. I don't know. I don't want to push you wrong. He said mycelium more powerful than the internet. Google mycelium.
More older, wider. I mean, there's a lot of evidence to say that there's a mycelium network covering, I think, a large proportion of Alaska, and another mycelium network covering a good portion of South America. And yes, the dwarf the internet in size, but that's not the point. Our use of mycelium are for its properties as an organoplastic when heated in a certain way, and also because of its properties to do with consumption of hydrocarbons and carbohydrates.
Wait. Can you dumb that down for me? What does that mean?
Everything that we eat out of, that everyone is going, is made of plastic. Everything, most things are wrapped in plastic. Even though we see it as not wrapped in plastic in the shop, I guarantee there was a saran wrap that went around it while it was being transported. In the States, particularly, all food and pharmaceuticals are transported on structures made of plastic. They don't use wood. We use pallets. They use pallets made of plastic.
And if I understood correctly, you're suggesting that mushrooms could be used to either break down this plastic or
mushrooms. Mycelium.
Sorry, mycelia.
Mycelium is a precursor to mushrooms. Mushrooms are the fruit, effectively. So this is before, when they're in the growth phase. Before that time, after they've been inoculated, they start forming mycelia, and mycelia will grow around anything. So you can form it around shapes. And once it's finished, when you've got it to a point where you're happy with the growth, you can then bake it in a certain way, and it forms a kind of organoplastic. It's not rock hard, but it does hold that form. So you can imagine there are lots and lots of flexible forms out there. You can even get it so it's watertight.
I am really sorry. You said you don't want to talk about mycelium, and we've talked about mycelium.
Right. I don't really want to talk about it. All right. Zero. Oh God, you don't need a zero mug, Mark. You could exist with zero mug.
But this one's like a special zero mug because it's like one of their newer models where the zero logo is not on it on the outside; it's just the color.
Oh God.
And then,
sorry, you start talking about zero, and all I hear is white noise. All right, so fair enough. QuickBooks. No, I won't say that.
Why the white noise towards zero? I'm intrigued.
Oh no, it's a tool. It's okay as a tool. It really, you need to be an accountant to understand the way it does it.
John Toon, Zero use a mycelium packaging supplier for all their events. You can't escape it,
John.
You can't escape it,
John.
You can't escape it.
Enough. Oh, am I by myself? All right, you made me full screen.
No. Producer Andrew's on the scene, and he is changing the view.
That's nice. So, I didn't know you had a producer. You have a producer?
That's right, got a producer. Yeah, I've upped my game. Got a ring light and everything.
Not a very good ring light.
Better than no ring light.
But better than no ring light. Yes, absolutely. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Now you're getting into the TikTok generation now. Pop it over your head. Go on. Why don't you? All right.
Sorry, I'm just looking at myself now. That's what's happening. I'm glistening. I'm glowing.
You are glowing. You are like a golden god. Pump those weights and look golden while you do it.
Hey, trying to go Super Saiyan, man. Something at the door. Amazon delivery. Do you want to get that?
This is me closing the door.
It's okay, man. Take your time.
Some other sucker. Mycelia, you're breaking my heart. Yeah, all right, Mark.
I mean, that was first of all, that was genius, and also the fact that you sang it straight away. That was awesome. He's a fun guy to be with, John Toon. Oh, I'm sorry.
Make it stop.
You know what they say about Dale. Oh, okay, got that in order. Okay, let's just read it again. John Toon. You know what they say about Dale? I don't know, John. What do they say about Dale?
Well, hang on. Is that the white noise then? No. So then we finish the story off. So in November last year.
Yep.
Thanks, guys. Thanks you. Yeah. All right.
I would say that Andrew's fired, but I don't pay him for this, so it is what it is. Free labor, you get what you pay for.
Exactly. Can you get negative for zero? Anyway, all right, you probably can. Moving on. The point I'm making is that I just reinvented myself as many purple hats. I decided I was going to do more than just LinkedIn, so now I do voiceover work. I do live streaming, which I rent myself out as live streamer de jour, and I do.
I beg your pardon. Live streamer de jour.
Yeah, de jour of the day. Yeah. So I also do a fair amount of podcasting, and also, of course, my company do the work for people, helping them promote themselves effectively on LinkedIn, and we've been doing that well. And I've been closing a lot of business to do with that, and thankfully, they are producing wonderful video testimonials.
Cool.
I was wondering, can I show you the weirdest of my video testimonials?
Providing it's PG-13.
Oh, it's PG-13. Yeah. It's just.
Also, you can show me, and if it's terrible, we'll just turn it off. So, yeah, go for it.
I don't know if I play the video file.
I'm sorry, but before we do the video file, I just need to read some of this. First of all, hi Raquel from Texas. It's like 6 a.m. for her, so thank you for joining. And of course, Mark Harrison coming in with the baller jokes. What does mycelium buy when it's having a midlife crisis? A spores car. That's jokes. That's awesome. No, I don't care. That's awesome. Thank you for engaging. That's hilarious.
Sorry, I think these people need to get in the bin. These are terrible jokes.
Hey. Don't be dissing my viewers. They're cool people. Mark's been on this show.
Yeah, but it wasn't for his jokes.
Man, you know what? Say it to his face. That's all I'm saying.
Why would I want to say it to his face?
I don't know. You can't diss people on the internet and think there's no repercussions.
I think
that's called trolling.
I think that's
called trolling.
I think people have made a career out of it.
I'm really sorry, because you genuinely wanted to come on and talk about things Son Mushroom and Shong Mushroom.
Yeah, you've ruined everything.
And
everything.
You sound just like my dad. Father one.
I cannot believe that this is happening to me.
I mean, John's tune is just smashing the jokes.
All right, let's see if we can get this working. Here we go.
Okay.
You need to add it. You need to add it to the.
Yeah. If it's terrible, we're just going to turn off.
All right.
Ready? Add to stream.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Tony from Images for Industry, and I like working with Gareth because it keeps me busy.
It wasn't. There was nothing. There was nothing.
I say PG-13.
There was nothing. No, you couldn't see anything at all.
Gareth, save that filth for only.
It wasn't.
Not on this show.
It wasn't,
bro.
man. It was one of my clients who's a 3D photographer. Going, I promise you, there was nothing dodgy about it.
There was way too much depth in that 3D.
No, it wasn't. You couldn't see a thing. And then it goes on to him shaving, and then finally it goes on to him in talking to himself in a series of screens. But he just keeps saying, "I like working with him because he's really good," which is lovely, but not exactly helpful.
All right. Change gears real quick. One of your specialities and one of the services you provide, as you mentioned, is helping people engage on LinkedIn.
I do indeed.
People often talk about the algorithms, messaging, the different functions and videos, and all those kind of things, right? Is there any point in trying to match the algorithms or play the algorithms?
Yes, no, not? Sort of. Yes, because the most important thing, whether you like it or not, is being seen and being recognized and being remembered. Two, the way in which it interrogates any post within the first 90 minutes can be gamified, so that you can artificially open the aperture. By default, within the first 90 minutes, only 15% If you do nothing, if you did nothing, only 15% of your level 1, that's the one directly connected to you, would ever see it. So if you haven't got very many people connected to you, say you've only got 1,000 or so, that's not a whole bunch of people, especially if they're not active, because it randomly picks them. So then you can game it because they measure the heuristic by how fast people react within the first 90 minutes. So if you get a whole bunch of people reacting to it and also writing comments, the aperture opens. And more people.
Is that where kind of pods and things like
that?
Yeah,
but here's the problem with pods. Using them once in a while is great. Once in a while, like once a week, maybe. But when people live in them, and I know I've got clients who want to live in them almost daily, they've got no concept of what reality looks like because it's always being artificially opened up by the pod. By the same token, once the aperture is open, that means people who are completely outside level 3, level 2 will be able to see your post, and you just need one of them to repost it, and it takes on a life of its own. So if somebody within your level 1 repost, it doesn't really do a whole lot. If somebody level 2 reposts, it does a bit more. Level 3, and those completely outside of your normal interactions reposts, it can go viral. That's the ideal. It becomes so intriguing, so interesting, so of the moment that somebody in your level 3 reposts it, and then perhaps their repost gets reposted, and it starts taking on a life. Or as a friend of mine once did fairly recently, he was in a band in the mid-90s called Boa, and they had a song called it's not Couch. It was something as innocuous as that, and it became the darling of a couple of TikTokers who put out a series of dance moves to that tune, and suddenly he got a massive £12,000 what's it check?
A royalty check. Yeah. That's not too bad.
No, but what I'm saying is, literally, just by making it, all you've got to be, and this is the thing I want everyone to remember. You need to be remembered. It's not good enough to gather followers or gather connections. If those connections don't remember who you are, a lot of people will connect to you reflexively. So you send them a connection request. They go, yeah, sure. And that's the last of their interaction with you. And maybe they'll see a couple of things when you go live because it'll come up and say, so-and-so's gone live. But unless they take that chance and check you out, they'll never know anymore. What you want them to do is when they make the connection, this is why the connection message is so important, is that you actually give them an idea of what you're going to be doing in the future they'll be attracted to. So the ideal connection message should go something along the lines of, hi, do you remember me from X, Y, and Z? Or we met at whatever it is. Try and remember who you are if you come across each other. If you haven't, you say, we're very interested in this. And I tell you what, just so you know, I think you might be interested in similar things. So watch out over the next few weeks and months, because I'm going to be sharing content that I think you'll really enjoy. On that basis, let's connect. So the whole basis is you're not promising them to sell them an Okie Kokie 2000. All you're saying is there's going to be interesting stuff coming down the chute. Check it out. That makes you memorable.
Okay, follow-up question. I think you kind of answered it already, but I want it to be, if you could rephrase it. No. Does the number of connections or specifically followers matter, and is there a particular number that makes a difference? Let's go for followers first.
I'm going to take both. No, it's active connections and active followers, and that's much harder to find out. There's no direct metric that tells you this. You see, if somebody connects to you but vaguely uses LinkedIn once in a blue moon, or even has a PA or a VA that does all the connection requests and responding to them for you, and doesn't bother respond once in a blue moon, they might as well not be connected to you. What you're looking for is people that will respond, ideally comment, and most importantly of all, reshare. Those are the important people.
So something that Raquel often says when I talk to her, she says she goes for quality, not quantity. So I think people she's actually connected with generally are people she speaks to, engages with. Is that a fair thing to say?
No, actually, no, not really. You want active.
I love how you sugarcoated that, by the way.
You what?
I love how you sugarcoated that. I'm being sarcastic.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Remember, I'm autistic, so I don't understand sarcasm. So I do irony very well.
I'm aware.
Because I said to someone, an American recently, he said, "So Gareth, can you tell me what is irony?" And I said, "Well, irony is very much like silvery and goldery, except with iron." And but you know what?
Be careful with making be careful with making jokes like that, because there's a ton of mushroom jokes in the comments that haven't been said. There you go. You opened it. Mark Cowison. Why couldn't mycelium get into the club? He wasn't mold enough. I think some of these are failing because of my delivery. I'm not a comedian.
I promise you, he's not a joke writer. Okay, moving on. What I was going to say is...
Wait. Before we move on, John Toon has given us a joke. So I had this long fungi joke, but I don't have enough shroom to type it.
That isn't even a pun. That's just fail. That's wah 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 wah.
Okay. Another one from John Toon.
No.
Mycologists are the most virtuous scientists. They're all obsessed with morels.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I get the joke.
Well, that one's pretty good, because let's be honest, that's mushroom knowledge. You know what I mean? Like, who knows all the different breeds and species of mushrooms we eat?
Here?
Oh, do you want me to decipher that and explain what that's about? Mark Howison, I think you need a quick fist, Gareth Wax. So, to explain...
That sounds rude. Hang on. You cut off my video because somebody was telling you why they love working with me in the shower, but you allow a man to want to insert his arm up my bottom? That's disgusting.
No, that's
disgusting.
Not what he means.
Filthy.
That's
I call
not what
filth.
He means.
The filth police need to be here.
Mark is the CEO of LHR Marine Limited, and they specialize in manual handling products. And a lot of the products have funny names like Quick Fist or Stiffy or
Mark, that is just wrong. I just need you to know this. Andrew wants to
Andrew's saying pause. He's just saying pause. Pause.
What, Andrew? What?
This is the zaniest episode by far. Andrew Ward, what did the grouchy mushroom say to the loud mushroom? Put a cap on it.
Yeah, that doesn't even work. That doesn't even work.
There you go, Mark Howison again. Gareth Wax, you got me thinking. A video of a customer with a stiffy in the shower.
I'll tell you what, Mark. My client will do that for Tony Pincham, by the way. Yeah, he's Tony Pincham of Images for Industry. He does the most amazing 3D imagery of. At the moment, we're talking to places in Africa to ideally image them up front so that displaced villagers can see where they're going to go before they arrive. Because it's literally millimeter perfect on the scan, and using measurement tools so you can actually draw it. Can you? Much as I love Mark Cowison's thing, can you drop it? Bro?
Yeah,
drop it. Get
rid of that. Yeah, fine.
But let me.
No. Hold on. We'll go for serious for a second. Just a little second. I'll just zoom in. There we go. Come on.
That's not serious. Are you ready for your close up, Mr. DeMille? Thank you. How kind. I got this all to myself now. No,
yes.
Fair enough. That's lovely.
You were just explaining how one of your clients is actually doing something quite noble with technology.
Well, it's a byproduct. We're trying to do something noble. Actually, big Tonye is a potential client of mine who is doing the noble thing. He's working in agritech, producing a software and a system that interrogates the soil of the ground of the place where crops are proposing to be intermingling that with the data from forecasting, which in Africa, because it's the forecasts there are far more accurate than they are here, because the seasons don't quite change as dramatically as they do here. You can actually forecast what crops will grow successfully there. Mix that in with the potential of helping farmers from far away gain guaranteed crops, and you've got a well beater in my book.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I am a huge fan of agritech. So Creston Rees actually have a very large client base in farm or rural England, and I get to go to some agricultural shows. The technology that's going on in farming is next level. I kid you not. I don't want to just diminish it. There was a tractor there that was GPS satellite like driven.
Yep.
It looked like the Bat Cycle. It was so freaking cool. Completely unmanned.
Well,
There's nowhere for someone to
that's the
sit.
thing.
It had,
That's
it
why
had
it
two
looked-
wheels,
that's why it looked
and
like Bat
it was
Cycle.
so freaking cool.
Because it didn't have anywhere
It was
for
so
humans.
freaking cool.
It's humans that screw these things up. So you remove all the humans out of it, and you've effectively got an unmanned robot or an unmanned drone, land-based, and all you've got, you can remotely control these things. Now imagine if you can control that with the agritech that says automatically now go out and till the soil ready for these seeds because it's the right time of year and the right conditions, and then another robot that goes out and sows it. Wow.
This has been the most sporadic episode of FM
Dale,
of all time. I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But I know you've got to go to a live stream. So I think the last thing we need to do before we jump off is, can you promote the live stream you're going to be on in like 5 minutes? Where is it?
I'm working with a client of mine called Tender Response. The lady's name is Vicky Poole. Check her out on LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. She has an 80% success rate on public sector tenders. So she will work with you. Even if you're a tiny company, she'll find tenders that you can work with, find out all the gotchas, making sure you don't fall foul of them, and give you an 80% success rate on getting these tenders in. Remember, if you're a business that wants to make sure that your income stream is constant throughout the whole of the year, a public sector tender could well be the way to do it. The trouble is they can be very onerous if you don't know what you're doing and how to respond to them. Vicky and her team will make sure you do it. She has also teamed up with me to produce something called Tender Promote. And Tender Promote basically uses the power of LinkedIn and also a bunch of other social medias to promote you so that when they're being checked out for a tender, you come up looking like golden, much like Dale did when he put that ring light on.
Thank you. Gareth, I'm absolutely gutted that we can't do this for long because we've both got things to do. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for dropping absolute nuggets of knowledge based on mushrooms, non-mushrooms, business.
Oh, can I give a LinkedIn tip?
Always a pleasure.
Can I give a LinkedIn tip?
No, you can't. I forbid
it. No. Your about section. Your about section. The first 4 lines are more important than anything else. That's all I got to say.
Cool. Also, thank you to the viewers. Thank you to Mark, John, Andrew, Raquel. Who
find me by typing in Gareth Wax Inspiration. You can find me on LinkedIn. Have a chat.
I'm going to look at some